Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something I think is truly magical. How just a simple shift in how you look at things, a choice to look a little bit closer, can reveal entire universes we never even knew were there, hidden in the most ordinary stuff all around us. So let's start with a really simple question. In our busy lives, as we're all rushing from one thing to the next, what incredible details are we just walking right past? What tiny worlds are unfolding, completely unnoticed, right at our feet? Think about it. All around us, in the veins of a single leaf, the gills of a mushroom, or the determined path of an ant, there are these intricate, bustling worlds just waiting for us to find them. And the only ticket you need is just a moment of your attention. Now, our guide for this little journey of discovery is the poet Walter de la Mare and his wonderful poem, Magnifying Glass. What's so cool is that he treats this simple tool not as a piece of science equipment, but as a source of pure magic. Right from the start, the poem gives the magnifying glass a voice. It doesn't just make things bigger, it makes them talk. It's like it speaks this secret language of hidden truths, revealing the stories locked away inside everyday objects. All right, so let's actually see this magic talk in action, right? We're about to see three pretty incredible transformations, just like the poet describes, starting with something totally mundane and turning it into something magnificent. The first thing the poet picks is, well, it's about as ordinary as you can get. Just picture it. A tiny, unassuming scrap of chalk. It's the kind of thing you'd step over on the sidewalk and not even think twice about. But this is where the magic starts. Because through the lens, boom, it's completely transformed. That simple white dust reveals where it really came from. Countless, intricate, microscopic shells from tiny creatures that lived ages ago. It's literally a history of the ocean and a speck of chalk. Okay, next up, our focus shifts to something just as common. Just a single inch of green moss. We've all seen it, right? Clinging to a rock or a tree. You probably just dismiss it as a bit of damp fuzz. But again, we're being asked to look closer. And this is where the power of perspective really hits you. That tiny inch of moss becomes this vast, detailed landscape, a whole ecosystem in miniature, with its own flowers and what look like towering trees. It's a forest you could hold in the palm of your hand. And now for the final transformation, we're going to look at maybe the most basic thing imaginable, a single drop of water. It looks perfectly clear, perfectly still. On the surface, it looks like, well, nothing, just pure, empty liquid. But of course, under the glass, it is anything but still. It's suddenly just teeming with life and all this frantic activity. It's a bustling, chaotic world of microorganisms that the poet compares so perfectly to a busy hive of bees. So looking closer isn't just about finding these tiny, beautiful worlds. It also brings us face to face with something a bit more raw. The unfiltered complexity of nature, which can be both beautiful and, honestly, a little terrifying at the same time. You can feel the tone shift dramatically here, can't you? When the lens turns to a spider, that sense of wonder gets mixed with this jolt of alarm. The poet even uses an exclamation mark to show his awe at its fierce, predatory nature. These aren't just legs, they're tigerish claws. And this is what I find so interesting. You've got this mix of perspectives happening all at once. You can't help but marvel at the spider's incredible design, all those eyes. But at the very same time, you feel this sense of danger for the silly flies. This isn't some cleaned-up version of nature. It's the full, unblinking picture of predator and prey. And that's really the point, isn't it? True observation, it's not just about finding the pretty stuff. It's about seeing the world as it actually is, in all its marvelous and sometimes menacing glory. It's about appreciating the whole complex system. Okay, now we get to the final stanzas. And this is where the poem makes this absolutely audacious leap. The poet takes the power of this simple little lens and gets ready for a breathtaking jump in scale, from the tiniest speck on the ground to the biggest thing in our night sky. So first, the poet kind of sets the stage, saying that this power to magnify, it feels like it has no limits. No matter how small something is, looking closer only makes it more wonderful, as if the thing itself is surpassing its own nature. And then we get the big finale. The poem just skyrockets from the microscopic world of chalk and spiders all the way to the astronomic. The poet connects the simple, handheld magnifying glass to the powerful lenses of a telescope, suggesting that the same act of eyeing can bring even the moon right to our doorstep. I mean, how cool is that? This final stanza just brilliantly connects the dots. It shows that the exact same human impulse, that drive to look closer, to understand, is what connects looking at a drop of water to the grand ambition of actually going to the moon. It all starts with curiosity. Okay, so we've gone from a piece of chalk all the way to the surface of the moon. What's the big takeaway here? What is the real magic that Walter de la Mare is actually talking about? Because the real magic, it's not in the glass itself, is it? The magic is in the act of paying attention. It's that conscious choice we make to shift our perspective and see the extraordinary that's already there, hiding in the ordinary. When you boil it all down, this poem is just a beautiful reminder that curiosity is the most powerful lens we have. It's the engine that drives every discovery, whether you're a little kid looking at an ant, a poet looking at moss, or a scientist looking at the stars. So I want to leave you with this question to carry with you. After seeing the world through the poet's lens today, what small, everyday thing will you choose to look at just a little bit closer? What hidden marvels are you going to seek out in your own life?